Bitcoin's at $100,000. What now? What to do? Well, if you've watched my videos in the past, you know that I always hold 1% of my net worth in Bitcoin. Now, historically, it's done nothing but go up. Look at the chart. It's done nothing but go up. And there still is potential upside, especially if the new administration creates a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And they're constantly buying and buying like El Salvador. This is going to drive the price up as well because there's going to be more demand, and we're going to see the most powerful nation in the world buying more Bitcoin. It'll be more in demand. So it sounds really good, and it is, but I'm not putting in more than 1%. Here's why. So that's the good parts of it. It's been going up. Everyone's buying it. It finally hit 100 grand. So everything's looking great for Bitcoin. We hit an all-time high. There may be a strategic reserve in America, and it's been doing nothing but going up. Why do I only own 1%? So for me, it's too volatile. I have a sizable portfolio where I don't need the added risk. If you have high 6-7-figure portfolio, you probably don't need all of that risk because you already have $1 million plus or close to it. So the volatility for me is why I'm not a large investor. Now, also, I want to dispel some myths about Bitcoin as well. It's not rare. There's only 21 million Bitcoin itself, but everyone in the world can buy a Satoshi. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin no matter what. You can index the Bitcoin price like you can index gold. It's not rare. So don't get caught up on it's a limited supply. It's only 21 million. Everyone can buy a Satoshi. Yes, you might not be able to buy a full Bitcoin because it is limited and they're $100,000 now. But everyone can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin called a Satoshi. So not only is it too volatile, it doesn't pay dividends. I am primarily a dividend investor. My goal is to just live on dividends. If you've been following me, you know I have rental properties as well. I like that monthly and quarterly income. So it's volatile and it doesn't pay dividends. All it does is just go up. And it does. It just goes up. So it's just growth, no income. Now, they say it's decentralized. To an extent, yes. But let's blow out another myth of this. When Sam Fried had FTX, he was artificially holding the price of Bitcoin under $20,000. He was manipulating the market. Now, of course, he could do that because he was huge. He was the biggest player. But yes, it can be manipulated. It's very rare, but don't think that it can't. Any market can be manipulated if somebody or some entity is big enough. So don't get caught up on these things. Another thought that I want to get out there, this is what people don't think of. Who founded this? People say it was the American government. People say it was the Russian government. We don't know. It wasn't some guy named Satoshi. It was probably a group of people or maybe one person. But either way, this group of investors or founders, and you can look up some of the names that have rumors to be linked to Satoshi. The original Satoshi right now holds 100 billion worth of Bitcoin. So let's have a thought experiment. Say it was a foreign government that owned that. What if they just dumped it all in the market? The price would crash. See, there's too many uncertainties with this, which is why I'm not going to go above 1% of my net worth. These are things that people don't think of. It's volatile. There's no dividends. There's 100 billion that's been locked there for however many years, 10, 15 years, whenever it first came out. If that is dumped, the price will crash. You can't put all of your money into this. I mean, sure, if you did, you'd be successful, but a prudent investor, somebody with a high net worth, would never do this. This is a speculative asset. It's for speculation only. Now, for fun and a thought experiment, I told you that Bitcoin is limited to 21 million, but everyone can buy a portion of it. Everyone can buy a fraction. You know what's more rare than Bitcoin and worth more? Michael Jordan rookies. If you're buying something for the rarity, just buy a gem mint Jordan rookie. You can't divide it up. There's far less than 21 million in gem mint. There's a very small amount. Let's see. Right now, the gem mint Jordan is worth $150,000. And there's only 326 PSA gem mint Jordans. If you want something that's rare and can't be divided, buy one of those. And not advice, just a fun thought experiment, guys. I hope you learned a bit about this. Again, Bitcoin isn't what you think it is. Take into account all these considerations and risk factors that I told you about. Not advice at all whatsoever. Just a fun thought experiment. Thanks, guys.